I always believe within my performance work that there's a celebration of my body. Working within sexuality, within my porn work, I do feel there's like definitely a crossover when it comes to exploring movement and exploring dance within performance. I always felt like, dance and movement are very similar to sexuality and sexual movement as well. So it's also like a metamorphosis of the body, which then also kind of finds its own sort of emancipation, then also finding movement through restriction. I find that there's a really beautiful relationship that happens with the audience. You want people to kind of become entranced or become hypnotized with it. It's almost like you're trying to rebel, basically, against the audience. I like to try and subvert a lot of expectations that I feel sometimes people have with my body as a black queer person. I work with all types of bodies and all types of people because this is me. I want my work to reflect my personal life in terms of my personal sexual identity. On one hand, this is also a presentation. Being someone who was black and not straight was something that was definitely a challenge because, there was never any sort of strong black queer people at that time who were publicly out. There's always this sort of thing of how can you be yourself when there's not enough encouragement from the community that you come from. When I started doing porn, I literally just took an oath to myself to say, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna stand by it and not feel ashamed, not feel embarrassed. I had to basically own this. I think people get it misconstrued in that we're selling our bodies when it comes to pornography when actually we're selling a service. In some ways, I think we're selling ourselves anyway. I feel like people working in certain jobs are always selling your bodies, basically. We need an outlet. We need an outlet to explore things that we're not really able to explore within society. And I think, if these outlets are not really properly supported and helped and cared for and nurtured, then the more that we devolve as humans and the more we have the ability to actually use art and be involved in art, the more that we get to learn about ourselves. Sex and sex work are also part of our art form as well. And I think this is something that definitely needs to be nurtured and cared for and also taken seriously. Sex work should be legitimately seen as as work, and I think the voices of sex workers need to be heard.